FC Porto. When we look at this logo and at this club, we only recognize them from Liga Portugal. The UCL winning squad under Jose Mourinho was one of the best clubs in the 2000s. FC Porto are one of the best clubs to ever win the Liga Portugal and ever grace the league. They've only been able to win the league multiple times, but not the Champions League, so we'll try and win them one. We do have some objectives to complete this. We need to win the UCL within 3 seasons, sign a South African player into our squad 3% Benny McCarthy, and limited to only signing 3 players every single season, and win the League of Portugal.
I preferably use the 4-3-3. I feel like that is what really suits me the most. Yeah, I think we're gonna really try and stick with the 4-3-3 here. We're gonna start Gabriel Veron. I think that's the best part to put him here. We're gonna put coaches as well there. If we do need a signing, I would say the 2 center backs. If we can get 2 new center backs, I swear we're rock and rolling.
What I did decide to do as well was to take Gabriel Veron to a cam position. Converting him to the cam would help with his growth. On the right wing, he wouldn't really get that much game time. As for Taremi, we needed funds. There was really nothing we could do. 30 mil just wasn't enough for the board, so we need to sell Taremi and get the funds in. All the way from PSG, we did bring in a central midfielder that is Portuguese. One of my personal objectives that I didn't want in that midfield rebuild. He will slot in near Grucic just for now, just for £25 million. I did decide to put him in cam, but I could have put him in cam.
Coming in again into the club, we have Fabio Miretti from Juventus. He is a young prospect. I think I've used him in one of my career modes, and he was just the star player for £14 million. That is a straight up bargain right there. Alright, here we go. Fabio Miretti slotting into that cam position. Otavio, he can't play on the right wing, but we can play Gabriel Veron. But I really want Otavio there, but we'll play Gabriel Veron.
As we do keep our winning ways in the League of Portugal and take Benfica down twice, first in the beginning of the campaign and in the end. Renato Sanchez and Ivanilson carrying us and staying with us even though we got crashed out of European success. In the group of Atletico Madrid, Club Brugge and Leverkusen, we finished third and were knocked out of the Champions League and finished with 5 points. 2 draws against the Belgium side Club Brugge and a tight 2-1 win away from home saw Leverkusen and Atletico go through the round of 16. We did go and get dropped to the Europa League, but we did win 5-4 on aggregate against Arsenal, the English side, and 4-2 at home. Angel Correa's Man United side crushed Europa League dream as Correa sets a hat-trick, giving us a reality check that we aren't ready for Europe. Despite getting dropped out of the Champions League and losing out in the semi-finals against Man United in the Europa League, we did go on to win our first ever League of Portugal in our first season out of the 3 seasons. We go on to check some stuff. As we head into season 2, Ivanilson finishing with 18 goals and Otavio working hard with 12 assists and capturing our first League of Portugal. The Colombian midfielder has helped us this season, but he will join Leverkusen when the window opens. So getting a new midfielder that is Portuguese like Matias Nunes for just 50 million. We squeezed every penny out of the 54 million the board gave us. We should have got him earlier, but Vitinha was an option from PSG, but Nunes has joined us. Slotting him in the left central midfielder, checking out on the right wing. We do need a backup right winger, but now that Franco is there, we will convert him to a right wing. Replacement from Kaizer Chiefs has arrived for just £3 million. He won't get much game time, but the priest slots in for the Benny McCarthy replacement. We did see that Galeno did need a contract renewal, making sure that we get rid of that release clause. Finishing off with our transfers, we move over to the European competition, the Champions League. Our group stage consists of Real Betis and an unusual Man City squad, following with Zagreb. Scrolling through, we have the Dutch sides, PSV and AZ in their respective groups, along with Newcastle and Portuguese side, SC Braga with that team following up. In the League of Portugal, we were just the big boys. We just kept dominating. Ivanilson couldn't stop scoring, as far as Miretti and Otavio as well. Look at this good play. Once we get the ball back after our press, we just play the ball nice in between the space at Sporting leave. Good through ball there for Matias Nunes and scoring his first goal for the club. In our group, we do squeeze a 4-3 tight win at the Etihad against Manchester City, which isn't an unusual squad. Otavio sitting with 22 goals and 4 assists, and Evangelson with 17 goals and 3 assists. Halfway through the season, Fabio Moretti sits on top with just 7 assists. Honestly speaking, David Carmo for me this season just hasn't been cutting it. 79 rated. I saw against the Man City squad, he was getting absolutely cooked by Riyad Mahrez. So putting him on the transfer list does seem like a fair deal in getting a new centre back. Joe Gomez was the better player with the most statistics in defense. There weren't really any other centre backs. I went in for Gonzalo Inacio, but he just wasn't affordable. They wanted 60 million and we did not have 60 million, so we did get Joe Gomez slotting right in that starting midfield. We did manage to draw Atletico Madrid in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Going into this game, honestly, against the Atletico Madrid that did knock us out of the Europa, I don't know what I was expecting from this, but let's get it. I think when it comes to counter-attack, this team really knows. And I also think when it comes to pressing, this team really knows. Against a strong Atletico Madrid side with Fabinho in the CDM, Robert Sanchez just found the pause for Evangelson with his good finishing and pace, got him behind their defense and got the opening goal. We did banter the Atletico Madrid side that did knock us out. Putting it to trees, giving a bit of game time away from home. I wanted to get the win, and the win we did, 60 on aggregate from 2-1. We did draw Arsenal again, and we beat them, lost on we didn't manage to beat them. But I get bands up. They gon' try to spit on me, can't get your hands up. I do this shit for glory, she won't get my side so I get mine, she gon' fall. That's a bro, y'all shit, we up that pole. Inside, they didn't know. I got a couple buddies that will blow. Keep talking that shit, we gon' aim at your nose. It's my year, nigga, on my side. But he came back to Montesson. But he did score to show us that our defense just wasn't ready yet for the team. And right when I thought there was hope, Ferran Torres, number 14 Barcelona, Lautaro Martinez, with the final nail, sending us. We didn't play the season with a 36 goals, and Evangelson with 35 goals, 11 assists, and 50. Yeah. Holding down, we have Galeno, 19 goals and 6 assists. Moretti not there. Golden Boot winner was Evangelson. We did manage to win our first ever Taca Portuguese and taking a back-to-back league title, winning by a big margin. Heading to the second season, the board did give us 65 million, which in my opinion is just not enough to be fighting for Champions League, but we'll make a plan as usual. Looking at the squad, we really need a better left back than Sansui. Silva needs someone to help him. Joe Gomez, for me, he had a good season, but it's time for him to get out of the club. If we want to win the Champions League in our third season, which is our final season, we will need to get an upgrade there. Evangelson, Galeno, and Otavio, perfectly fine in the front three. The game against Barcelona taught me that Sansui was just a stove to get cooked on. Rafael from PSG's contract was expiring, and getting a Portuguese replacement does seem ideal. Rocking the Porto shirt, he came inside me, the club, for just £27 million, and he will start for us. Kirkies will be the backup left back and Sansui to the right back. Our centre-back compartment needed a replacement after selling Joe Gomez to Arsenal. We were able to sign an experienced player in the UCL for just 40 million. Nathan Ake came in for 70 million. His contract at Man City was expiring, so getting in a better centre-back than Leite was good. Heading on, we're looking at the transfers this season. Nathan Ake to Porto. Joe Gomez was sold for 40 million, our most expensive departure. Steve's, after a loan deal, went over to Ghent, and Dupree's joined Culatri on a loan deal. Looking at our group, we have a tough Manchester United and Ajax, and Malmo, a team we could get 3 points from. FC Bayern, Paris, Juventus, Napoli. Champions League this season is not a joke to be made of. We did start our group stage games here in Porto against Manchester United. Gabriel Veron got in behind the defense, just put the ball into the back of the net and found the opening goal for us, sending us 1-0. Man United's defense was just absolutely shambles without Harry Maguire, and Evangelson just put the ball into the back of the net, leading us 2-1. That's already a good game for Evangelson, having a handful for defenders. I did decide to sub on the likes of Nathan Ake and Fabio Moretti as well. It did seem like subbing on Fabio Moretti for Gabriel Veron, the camp spot, did pay off, as he did make it 4-1 at home. Antonio Silva was unhappy with his contract, so we did decide to bump up his wages and get a 2-year renewal. Converting Science into a right back, like I said, because I usually forget to convert these people, removing on the transfer list as well. And we somehow dropped points with a team that's sponsored by Volkswagen. Heading into the second game of the UEFA Champions League, we did face Ajax at the Johan Cruyff Arena, away from home. A good set-piece routine of mine did put the ball into the back of the net, but my controller did disconnect. I think that rhymed. Otavio found the ball into the second game against Ajax. João Mario just kept on running with it, and he played it for Otavio. Having some good depth in that camp position, someone like Fabio Moretti, on number 17, got on the score sheet, getting his second goal of the campaign. We did continue our winning ways as we haven't lost a single game. Evan Nielsen again being the player to watch. He got him behind, and Martins Nunez put the ball into the back of the net for us. We did win 3-2 to that game against Ajax, and we did finalize against Manchester United in the group stage, having one more game just against Malmo. I don't know what happened here. Angel Correa, for some reason, it's still at Man United. This makes no sense, but we did get the goal. And here are some highlights.
A real opening now.
We did top our group, but we do continue as we do face AC Milan in the round of 16. Oh no. We travel all the way to Milan in Italy to face them. What I'm surprised about is not their squad, but why is Harry Maguire lining up with Milan? This makes no sense. We did get the opening goal, as Evan Nielsen got in behind their defense. Just keep scoring the opening goals for us. The ball did fall into our hands again. Evan Nielsen played the ball for Gabriel Veron, and he smashed it. I won't even try and lie to you. This goal right here just sealed everything. I was getting a bit too comfortable saying that the game is over. Evan Nielsen passed the ball to Otavio and sealing everything. Evan Nielsen did get 32 goals and 9 assists in just 36 games. This was just halfway through the season. Otavio with 15 and 16. And we did face AS Monaco in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and we did beat them 3-2 in aggregate. We are now facing Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-finals. Semi-finals is the best we've ever made it to in the Champions League. Heading into this game, I was really scared, and yep, Rodrigo put the ball. He made it 1-0, he got the opening goal, but just after we did respond, Evan Nielsen opening up his body and putting the ball into the back of the net to equalize in the semi-finals. We have made it 2-1 just before the stroke of halftime, but the crossbar did deny us. And Valverde, he was on fire, but Costa was the one just saving us during this game. And yeah, Xavi Simons scored a power shot. Yeah, Costa could have not done anything there. Legendary is just, that's legendary for you. And Martins Nunez did score, but again, my controller disconnected. Eventually in the 80th minute, we pushed to make it 3-2, and Costa was just on fire. And this counter-attack was just too good. Evan Nielsen got him behind the Real Madrid defense as always. He scored to make it 4-2. We still had some work to do in the League of Portugal, the Taca Portuguese and the Champions League. I simmed the game against Real Madrid and beat them 2-1, going through to the finals against PSG. This right here is what we've been working for since season 1 and since 2004. Our squad did not look competitive against PSG's, but the opening goal proved everything here, only to find out we'd score more as Galeno put the ball for Gabriel Veron. He did get the opening goal for us as Van Dijk did shake his booty in front of him. Galeno and Evangelson licked up, and Gabriel Veron, again in front of Van Dijk, scored to make it 2-0. Costa did save for us, and Gabriel Veron got the ball from João Mario from the back. Evangelson got him behind the defense as usual, and he also scored to make it 3-0 against PSG. I did get a bit too comfortable, and yeah, Nicola Barella celebrated when it was literally 3-1. We could have collected the ball. Costa was just coming in clutch here. I did want to sell him early because he was a bit iffy. It was 4-1. The game was literally over until Neymar scored. They did get a consolation goal, but we did respond with Rui Costa helping us. This was most probably my third set piece that I did score, and this time the controller did not disconnect. It was 5-2 against PSG. Finally, after 3 seasons of hard work, sadness, some players departing because they did not believe in us, we finally won the Champions League since 2004. If you guys did like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what career mode you'd like to see next or rebuild. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Enjoy the scenes. Also, we did win the treble, and we also won the Portuguese.